Hey everybody, gotta love technology and the fact that Facebook didn't let me share my screen. So I'm going to share it now and do two short videos about the two platforms that we use. Aisle Planner is our first one here. And actually I might just do one quick video together. Okay, this is Aisle Planner. This is what we look at, but this is what something like yourself would look like. This is our sample. This is the platform and what it looks like. And this is all curated from all of your data that you'll put in here. So think of this as your dashboard. It'll tell you how many weddings you have to, or how many days till your wedding, your to-dos that you might have to do, important items that have due dates coming up, what your current guest count looks like, where you're at in the planning process, what money you have, what budget you have, and then your inspiration that you've pulled, and this is kind of what it looks like. So let's walk through some of the cool features of what you have access to and how you can plan. So the checklist feature is kind of cool because there's two ways to do this. So there's the full checklist that has everything that you need to do. You can add different things to make it personalized and unique and what best matches your needs, but it also has the basics of what you should be doing. Each one of these can be clicked on and a new date associated with it. And when you do that, you can also say set reminders on certain days. So I want a reminder 2 days before, I want a reminder on the date. And then I can also pick up wedding bands and confirm it, pick up Azales, and ask for Kelly. Let's say she's your rep. You can add an assignment, and anyone who has been invited to join Aisle Planner, so any of your bridesmaids, mother-in-law, anyone helping you plan your wedding, they would fall down on this list, and you can assign it to that person. You can add them a comment. Hey, Brittany. All right, actually Bethany's the bride, but we'll just pretend she's the bride. Hey, Bethany, thanks so much for doing this. Add it. That's what it actually looks like. Okay, so that's the sneak peek of what they will see. And then also you can say the visibility of what it looks like. So if you want just planners to see it, so you're considered the planner, or if you want everyone to be able to see it, they can see it. And you do that for everything in here. You task everything out that you need to, and it really helps you organize. And then what will happen is back on your actual dashboard, it would put this as the update if it was an emergency or coming up. So it's kind of cool. Also, you have two views. You can do as a planner, what I'm in charge of. So that will always technically be me because I'm the owner of the program, but we'll list you all in here, and we'll probably actually list you guys as planners as well. So you have higher access, and then you also list all the important people. So you can see like, what's the groom in charge of that he hasn't done? What are you in charge of as the bride? And what are your bridesmaids? So it will give you the full check down list this way of assignment based on person. Full checklist is just the overview. You can always download these things. You can hide completed items. You can download it as a PDF, as a checklist if you want to print it off. So let's say your mom doesn't use a computer, but you have things for her to do. You can always download her list and give it to her. So again, it works with people who don't love tech. Calendar, anything that is ever due will come up on your calendar, so you can see, pick up your wedding bands and confirm it. You can see all the things that are to do. Some people like this view, so instead of the checklist view, so just preference. The timeline option is in here because we use really cool timeline software. I don't use this program, but it is in here if you want it. To me, it just looks kind of boring, and I'll show you our really cool software, but it's there if you want something simple. Okay, Design Studio. This is basically the idea of Pinterest, except it's all on here and you can collaborate. So let's say you want to source ideas for your photographer of what you're looking for. So basically what you can do is source some ideas and looks, and then you can share this just specific things. So let's say for your hairstylist, you pick, this is what I want for my hair. Restrictions, you can say, I don't want anybody to be able to add anything. You can share this with the people that you want to share it with. It will pull from here the palettes. So let's say you look at this mood board. You're like, I really like these colors. This is my favorite. What does that look like? You can click palettes, and it will actually pull out the colors that are in the picture. So let's say you find an image or just like this thing you love, okay? Just like something you love, like a flower. This software is smart enough to figure out exactly what colors are in this actual picture. So you can click on it and say, I really like that pink. Okay, I'm going to save that. And it will actually save it to your list of what you love. Cool stuff. So that's your design studio. We recommend making many different boards, sharing them with the right and appropriate people, and then going from there. Guests. Upload your guest list into this portal, and I promise you it will save you so much time. It's crazy. When done right and done from the beginning, you can not only say invite sent, which ones they're invited to, all the information. You can see their RSVPs. You mark them. If you have meals, you can pick their meals in here. If there's any messages that you want to put in there, you can always do that. You can send your messages to your guests, okay, so that people can actually see what's going on. So let's say there's a change to something. You don't have to go email everybody. You literally have them in here and it will email that information to them. Let's say you have something about the rehearsal dinner that you need to email everybody that wasn't on, let's say, a rehearsal dinner card. You can send that out. Super cool. It's totally saved you time. Okay, layout and seating. This will save you so much time. It's crazy. There is probably nothing worse for most people than doing their seating chart. It takes so much time and effort. And even if you have a buffet, you still need to assign the table, okay? But this software is so stinking cool that you can quite literally click on, let's see, they must not have the guest name. Here we go. You can actually pull from your list and assign people their seats. And then you can do it so that you can see, and I don't know on this one if they've assigned people to the tables yet. It doesn't look like it. But typically, if you assigned people to this table, you could click on it and it would actually show everybody's names. It's so cool. And then you can download this and download it as a PDF. And not only put the schematic, so this, let's say you would upload a picture of your actual like floor plan, and you would size it and it would fit to the scale. And then when you drag and drop like an 8-foot table on it, it will size to scale. So you're not like accidentally putting too much furniture in one spot, which is awesome if you are, let's say, doing a backyard wedding or DIYing a place and you're not really sure about spatially, like if something's going to fit. Just ask them for the layout of the space, measure it, make sure you set the space to the right size, and then every time you drag and drop, it will automatically put it on the right sizing. Huge, gals, if you understand that you need to actually do this, make sure you can fit certain things. Awesome. Contacts. Anything that has to do with any of your contracting, you can put it all in here. You can put all of your notes in here. You can put when things are due so you don't miss those. And then you can also create contact sheets with everything that can always be downloaded and forwarded as well. Budget. This is one of the coolest budget planning softwares out there. I am completely obsessed with this. Basically, it auto corrects itself and readjusts your budget. So you set your budget from the very beginning, and then you put your estimation on certain times. It will set these for you, what you should be spending based on the percentages I've allocated in the back. And then it will auto adjust these if you change it. So let's say I spend, $1,000 on bridesmaids fashion. Let's see. Why is this not? Let me go in and just say, okay, why is this not letting me edit this one? Typically, let's see if this is 3,000. Okay. Then if I go into manage categories again and say auto adjust, it will auto adjust the amounts for everything else because I changed the amount of what it was. So you don't have to think, if I save money on my florals, where should I put it? It will automatically do that. Once you've actually booked something and the contract's signed and you can't change the pricing, you lock that value in, so everything else would auto change. So we get into this in depth and how to do it. I'm not going to do that. My point being is that it takes all the brain power out of it and actually makes budgeting kind of fun, because then you can find out where you can save money and also where you can stash it. It's great. Notes. Think of these like all the millions of notebooks that you have everywhere for your wedding planning. You just put them into here, and everything you need to know is inside of here. So you can put your contracts in here. Let's say it's client info. You can put all of the details in here. It's so awesome. It's just everything you need about all the specifics of your ceremony. Put it in ceremony details, your ceremony guide, your marriage license information. Make as many as you want and assign them to only the people that need to see them. So anything to do with photography, you can assign just to your photographer to see, so they can see all those notes and categories and whatnot. So awesome. Last thing here is just category. If you ever just want to jump to everything that has to do with photography, it will source everything from the platform that has to do with photography in here. Let's say you did, try to think of what one of the florals I think had some pictures. Yeah, if you have a lookbook or sourced from a design board, it'll pull the design board as well. So just really cool software, ladies, just absolutely incredible software. So I encourage you to know that this is just a huge part of the planning process, and it alleviates so much. We use this planning platform to really train you how to do this. Okay, Timeline Genius. Let's move on to the timeline. Okay. Timeline Genius. Come on, look. Okay. I'm going to go to one of our archived ones because we haven't really gone into the season yet, so I don't have any good examples for you right now on the live ones. But here's a really cool example. So the coolest thing is that when you started a timeline, you started on a Genius platform, and it just kind of, you put in some of the basic information. So the way we do this is we onboard with you. Every bride that comes into MasterBrides, we'll put the basic information in, and then we send it to your email, and you put all the information in as far as your venue, the venue contracts, who's in charge of things, your bridal party, all the information, you put it into the system. And then we go through and we just double check it, and we make corrections based on our professional opinion of, no, you can't do that in 10 minutes. You can only, you know what I mean? And so we adjust some things. You can always adjust things in the end. And then we create the Genius feature, so it actually spits out a basic timeline for you. Okay, so you don't even have to think about it. Then we do a huge training in MasterBrides on how to actually do the correct kind of timeline and how to get the most out of it and how to actually create it so that it's a rock star timeline. And it takes a couple times, but it's pretty awesome when it's put together. And what it does is it actually segregates everything you need to know about your wedding. You can put your grids in. You can put everything to do with policies and procedures. So if someone's in charge of something, one of the number one things people go over budget on is overages with extra fees. And let me see, I write these down. Extra charges, weather backup plans, hidden costs, and overtime fees. Most of those have to do with not knowing their timeline and not setting it up correctly. So now they're paying fees on the back end, or someone forgets you can't unload in that dock area because you get penalized for it. So all of those details go into this timeline. This creates one of the coolest hair and makeup schedules out there. I promise you, it makes it so easy. Put everything to do with photos and whatnot. Little details that need to be done. We teach you how to bold things, how to unbold things, how to collaborate with your people, all of that. We teach you how to really get the biggest bang for your buck out of this deal. Everything that needs to be remembered the day of for your day of team, you're going to put it in here. You're going to put any venue guidelines, like I said, vendor contacts, wedding party contacts, any of your contract files, you're going to add them to here so no one's looking for them the day of your wedding. They're all inside of here. You can determine who sees all of these aspects. So items to remember, who should be seeing this? The wedding party, the venue, the vendors, who should see that? And you put all those details in. Then it allows you to go on the back end and actually, darn it, I can't actually pull it up. There we go. Who's actually in charge of those? And you assign it to only the people that it applies to. Perfect example. Your DJ does not need to know your makeup schedule. He doesn't care. But what happens in a typical Excel spreadsheet is that it shows it to him, and he doesn't care. So he skims over some stuff that might actually have a line item in there that's something to do with him. So the cool thing is you go through and you assign everybody that needs to see that particular aspect the information, okay? Take some time, but you go through and you add it. Then you have the ability to collaborate, which means you quite literally invite all of the professionals who will be on your wedding day. You invite them to Timeline Genius, and they can log on and see their own things. So cool. So technology wise, but mostly and if that wasn't great enough already, you can set reminders. So let's say you have some people that are doing something that are more amateur. You can set them timers to get reminders. Let's say someone needs to be there for the rental delivery items. You'd put that person in your contact information and you'd set a reminder 30 minutes before, and it texts it to them. They get a text reminder live. Be at the rental place. They're arriving. Meet with, Kelly. It's all there. So you can literally hand it over the day of your wedding and just know that everyone's getting the information that they need, and you don't have to do it. Coolest software in the world. But if that isn't cool enough already, the coolest thing that I think is the fact that it creates individual personalized timelines for all of your vendors. So for example, the officiant. I click on the officiant and it literally puts together only the things he needs to know for the wedding day. He doesn't need to know the hair and makeup schedule. The videographer, what does the videographer need to know? Only the things that the videographer needs. That's all they get, a personalized timeline. I'm telling you right now, when you send your vendors this information, they're going to think you're a rock star, because I'm actually professional and they still think I'm a rock star for this. So if an average bride sending it to them, you're literally going to be their favorite client right off the bat, no matter what. Even if you were during the planning process, quite literally during the timeline process, it's going to go to new levels. So that's our software that we use. We love Timeline Genius. It saves so much time and headache. So those are the computer systems that we use. I love them. I'm proud of them. I'm so glad that we're able to bring this program to you and give you those platforms. We teach you how to use them. We teach you how to plan inside of them. And that's just some of the ways that we use MasterBrides for the best benefit of you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Those are the tech platforms that we use, and I hope you found the video helpful. Until next time, happy planning.